Oh, f***. I always get caught up with these wires. Yeah, that's why I'm a watch sales guy, not a video producer. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of What's on My Desk. Today, let's talk platinum. So, to talk about platinum watches, I brought, surprise, bunch of platinum watches. I brought the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore in platinum. I brought the IWC Regulator Tourbillon. I brought a platinum Day 2. Actually took this one right off my wrist. And I brought a couple of pieces from Cartier, the skeleton pieces that are that other platinum, palladium. I guess I'll start with my favorite brand, Audemars Piguet, and show you the platinum Offshore. 45mm case. This is the new style case with the flat buttons, automatic movement, tang buckle, which I prefer over the deploying buckle because it doesn't dig into the size of your wrist if your wrist is slightly smaller. And of course, the blue dial. Every single watch manufacturer out there, usually when they do a platinum watch, they'll separate it from the rest by using a blue strap and a blue dial. That's kind of how you know the watch is platinum. I mean, what's there to say about the Platinum Offshore? It's an aesthetically pleasing watch, surprisingly somewhat comfortable to wear for a platinum watch because platinum watches are heavy, you guys know that. And yet this guy is actually somewhat comfortable to wear. And I say somewhat because it's a lot more comfortable to wear this watch in the titanium case with a ceramic bezel, let's say, versus the platinum guy. But nevertheless, still surprisingly comfortable for a heavy platinum watch. Aesthetically, give this watch definitely an A+. I mean, it's a real looker. It's definitely a showstopper. Those that know AP will know that you have the Platinum Offshore on your wrist, hence it holds its value pretty well. The watch retails for $69,800. Again, I don't know why not just make it 70, but resale value on a secondary market pre-owned, still expect to pay in the high 40s up to $50,000 for this watch. Brand new, you'd probably be hard pressed to pick it up around any less than $52,000. Great watch, A+ AP, love this watch. I think this guy will sell for a while and continue selling well. Just a good looking watch, I mean. Next, I'm gonna talk to you about this IWC Platinum Regulator Tourbillon. And oddly enough, this watch sells, I know it's a tourbillon, it's complex, should be expensive, right? Well, it's not. It actually sells for less than the Platinum Offshore that I just showed you. This is a manual wind, a regulator, AKA jump hours. So what you see is you see the hour markers in the circle at 12 and the minute hand kind of is on its own without the hour marker. Tourbillon at 9 o'clock and your small seconds at 6 o'clock. I want to talk to you about something that's actually kind of funny. I think the reason this tourbillon doesn't resell so well, which it doesn't, this watch retails for $81,500 and its resale value on the secondary market pre-owned, we're selling this watch somewhere around $30,000, and brand new you could probably pick them up around the half price mark. Now, why you say that? It's a great deal for a tourbillon. It's IWC. I mean, a company with lots of history, a company with lots of rapport, not a new kid on the block. Why are they not selling so well? Well, I'll give you my opinion, and may not say it's true, but this is how I feel about it. I feel like IWC underprices themselves. And by pricing a tourbillon jump hour at $81,000 list, I feel that they're underpricing themselves out of the market. Sounds kind of weird. Usually people overprice them out of the market. You know, if it's too expensive, I always said that it's tough to sell because it's tough to find somebody that wants to spend $500,000 on the watch. A comparable watch, I think I did a jump hour skeleton AP on one of these episodes. It's a tourbillon, or it was a mid repeat, I don't remember exactly, but the watch retail around $400,000, and it was, you know, it's very difficult to sell, again, very expensive. So how can these guys underprice themselves out of the market? Well, let me explain. If I'm someone that's out there shopping for a tourbillon, a tourbillon, I've said before, is a status symbol. Because every tourbillon out there, it's $100,000 plus, no matter which brand you pick, but IWC decided to price them under $100,000 retail, and this is where the problem comes in, I believe. If I'm somebody out there shopping for a tourbillon for a status symbol, I want to show everybody I have a tourbillon on my wrist. I made it great. Why is this thing only retail for $81,000? I feel like I'm buying now a quote-unquote poor man's tourbillon. Is that what this is about? And this is the mentality I feel that's kind of haunting IWC. So by pricing themselves so low in the market for the most complicated and usually the most expensive pieces out there across pretty much every brand, I feel like they're shot themselves in the foot. Now, I'm not saying prices at $300,000, but I felt like the retail price on this watch should be at least over $100,000 to sort of give people that same notion of, hey, this is a status symbol. And when people look at a Turb that retails under $100,000, they immediately get that quote unquote poor man's tourbillon syndrome. Hence the resale value. I want to talk to you about the Platinum Day 2 from Rolex. What can I say about the Platinum Day 2 from Rolex? In fact, the only thing that distinguishes it from a white gold Rolex is obviously the beautiful blue dial. And for those that know, what distinguishes the platinum from the white gold or the yellow gold is really the price. The price difference in platinum watches versus gold watches has historically been significant, 20 to 30%. I think the yellow gold retails for around $40,000 and the platinum retails for $62,900, I think. That's a huge difference. It's about a 35% difference. And watchmakers has always justified that with quote unquote the price of platinum over gold. Well, that's not the case anymore. Platinum trades around the same price as gold. It has been for a while. Another justification they use is the fact that platinum is a lot more difficult to work with and it burns off a lot more material. From a jewelry perspective of my business, I'll tell you that is the truth. It's a lot more difficult to manufacture jewelry or anything else for that matter out of platinum, and you burn away a lot more material. And by burn away, it's when you make a ring or something, when you make anything, whether it's a watch, a ring, or a necklace, material gets burned away a certain percentage. So let's say if you're working with yellow gold, 18 karat yellow gold, and you'll burn away 5 to 7% of material. While working with platinum, you'll probably burn away double that, hence increasing the cost of production, but not by 30%. Again, more of a status symbol. A platinum watch is it. It's the best you can get. Platinum is that top metal, always has been, and therefore they jack the prices up on these. Resale value on this watch, it's a Rolex. Rolex resale value is always great. And if you pick this up at retail, you're gonna lose money. But if you like everyone else and goes out and gets their watches somewhat of a discount, expect for this resale value to be better. Today, secondhand Day 2 complete will trade at around the $38,000 to $40,000 mark. Brand new, expect to pay about $52,000 to $54,000. So really not a huge difference between new and used, as the case with all the Rolexes. A bit of a bigger difference on these guys because they're more expensive. The retail is $62,000. If you're looking at Datejust, obviously that difference becomes minimal. I mentioned that it's understated. Why is it understated? Well, because from afar, you can't really tell, hey, is this a Datejust 2 that's $8,000, or is this a Platinum Day Date at $60,000? So for those that want to stay somewhat low key, I think this is a perfect watch. And last but not least, it's discontinued. They don't make the Day Date 2 in 41 millimeters anymore. They made the 40 millimeter version. That caused a bit of a hike in pricing for all metals across, whether it's yellow, rose, white, or platinum. So if you're looking to pick up a watch that's gonna hold its value over time and maybe even raise in value a little bit, this would be one of those watches today. Whether it's yellow, platinum, or rose really doesn't make a difference. Pick the watch up pre-owned, hold on to it for a while. You won't lose on your investment. Last but not least, I'm going to bring in, quote unquote, that other platinum metal, which is palladium. I'm bringing in a couple of Cartier skeleton watches. Now, these guys are made out of 950 palladium, not platinum, but close enough. So I have the skeleton tank model in palladium, and I have Decli Cartier. Sorry, I'm not sure if I'm butchering French, but that's what it's called. It's from the Decli collection, this somewhat round piece. Now, the difference between the two is that the Decli is actually an automatic. If you can see that, the rotor is also skeletonized, so you can kind of see it moving here in the back. But and this guy is actually a manual wind. Aesthetically, absolutely gorgeous watches. I happen to like skeleton watches. I don't care what they are. Any skeleton watch out there that shows the inner working of movement, no matter how complicated or not the movement may be, makes for a gorgeous watch. And this is not a complicated watch. This is a, an hour and minutes watch. That's all it really shows. But aesthetically, look how beautiful this watch is. Both the tank as well as the Decli. Look at that. I mean, it's definitely something else. And the fact that this one is an automatic as a rotor makes it even that much more appealing because it has more parts. Let's talk resale value on these guys. Again, as I said, $53,000, hefty price tag, and you would think that this watch would trade back at about 25 to 30 cents on the dollar because it's a Cartier. Well, now actually, surprisingly, it still trades in that low $20,000 mark, a little less than half price, but that's actually really good for an expensive Cartier that all it does is shows you the time. Why? Well, it's a beautiful watch. Doesn't matter which shape it's in or which collection it's part of. They made one for every collection that Cartier makes. I just happen to have these two. But again, I can see a woman wearing this watch, even though this is a men's watch. In fact, to me, these watches are actually unisex. I would wear one of these watches. Again, beautiful watch, very noticeable, flashy. You know, the skeleton makes this watch flashy. And that's why I think they still hold their value somewhat well. Would I recommend you pick up one of these? Absolutely. Why not? Maybe not as your first watch, but if you have a big watch collection, this is definitely something to shake up the mix of some other watches that you may have. Something different. Again, not your typical Cartier, and definitely gorgeous, gorgeous watches. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Last but not least, I'm going to show you what's on my wrist. And this is actually a pickup from the Hong Kong fair that I attended. Something that I have ran across maybe once in my 15-year watch career. It's a 5037 1G, which is an annual calendar with a diamond bezel and diamond markers. They actually didn't make very many of these because Patek makes a very low production when they take an existing watch, which in this case it's a 5035 with a diamond bezel. And when they do that, those things become somewhat rare. I managed to find a dealer at the show that had two of those. I immediately bought both of them because I think on the resale end, if somebody wants this watch, they'll be hard pressed to find it. And I try to pride myself to having not only the latest and the greatest, but some of the older stuff that's more rare. Well, if you guys enjoyed this episode, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time for more watch reviews and other videos.